Welcome to today's podcast.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us.
Today we'll explore these key vocabularies in depth: dried, fennel, fishy, food processor, garlic crusher, and ginger, with detailed definitions and rich examples to help you master their usage. Dried, adjective, describes food or items that have had most of their moisture removed, often to preserve flavor and prolong shelf life.
She added a handful of dried cranberries to her salad for bursts of sweet, chewy flavor paired with a crisp texture.
He stirred dried herbs into the soup early so they had time to rehydrate and release their full aromatic profiles.
They kept a jar of dried lentils in the pantry because these legumes store for months without spoiling.
She sprinkled dried chili flakes over her pizza to introduce intense heat that lingers on the tongue.
He soaked dried apricots in warm water before chopping them into his morning oatmeal to soften their flesh.
She blended dried mushrooms into a powder and used it as an umami booster in sauces and gravies.
He chewed on dried mango slices as a portable snack rich in natural sweetness and fiber.
She ground dried oregano leaves between her fingers before sprinkling them over roasted vegetables.
He kept a mix of dried seaweed snacks on hand for a salty, mineral-rich treat between meals.
She combined dried tomatoes with garlic and olive oil to make a concentrated paste for pasta sauces.
He steeped dried hibiscus petals in hot water to brew a tart, ruby red herbal tea rich in antioxidants.
She used dried orange zest to infuse her granola with citrus fragrance that lasts for weeks.
He tossed dried chickpeas into salads, savoring their crunchy texture and protein-packed punch.
She folded a spoonful of dried tomato powder into her dough to color and flavor her focaccia.
He mixed dried apple pieces into his trail mix to balance savory nuts with natural sweetness.
She added dried lavender buds to the sugar jar to scent her baked goods with floral notes.
He stirred dried cranberries and walnuts into the pancake batter for festive holiday breakfasts.
She always kept jars of dried beans, grains, and pulses on her shelves to ensure meal planning flexibility.
He crumbled dried rice noodles on top of soups for an extra layer of light, crispy garnish.
Fennel, noun. Fennel is a bulbous herb with feathery fronds and a mild licorice flavor, used both as a vegetable and seasoning.
She thinly sliced the crunchy fennel bulb into her slaw, adding a sweet anise bite to every forkful.
He chopped fennel fronds and sprinkled them over baked fish to bring fresh herbal brightness.
They roasted fennel wedges with olive oil and balsamic vinegar until caramelized and tender.
She infused her poaching liquid with whole fennel seeds for a subtly sweet undertone in the poached pears.
He grated raw fennel bulb into his salad, combining it with citrus segments for a refreshing summer dish.
She steeped crushed fennel seeds in hot water to brew a digestive tea known for soothing upset stomachs.
He folded braised fennel into risotto, where it softened into silky threads mingling with arborio rice.
She pickled sliced fennel in lemon juice and salt to serve as a tangy condiment alongside rich meats.
He tossed roasted fennel bulbs into his grain bowl for a fragrant, licensed sweetness that balanced savory components.
She used the pollen from wild fennel as a prized spice dusted over roasted meats for an intense aroma.
He braised fennel bulbs gently in chicken stock until they practically melted on the plate.
She combined crisp fennel ribbons and shaved Parmesan for an elegant salad starter at dinner parties.
He pureed sautéed fennel with potato to create a velvety soup accented with a hint of anise.
She added chopped fennel stalks to her mirepoix base for soups to deepen the flavor profile.
He garnished lamb chops with toasted fennel seeds, which brought out the meat's natural sweetness.
She stuffed pork tenderloin with fennel and apple stuffing, pairing savory and sweet in perfect harmony.
He pickled fennel bulbs overnight in vinegar and sugar to top his Mediterranean-style sandwiches.
She snap-froze roasted fennel pieces to incorporate into future stews for convenience and flavor retention.
He infused olive oil with smashed fennel seeds and garlic to drizzle over pizza for an herbal twist.
Fishy, adjective, describes a taste, smell, or quality reminiscent of fish, often implying an unpleasant or off-putting odor.
The leftover salmon developed a fishy odor after sitting in the fridge for 3 days.
She detected a slight, fishy tang in the sauce, indicating the anchovies had oversteeped.
He avoided the market stall because the ice surrounding the seafood smelled too fishy to trust its freshness.
She learned that fresh fish should smell of the sea, not fishy, before purchasing any fillets.
He covered the fishy odor in the pan by deglazing with wine and aromatic herbs.
She complained about the fishy aftertaste from the edible seaweed she tried for the first time.
He knew the dish was spoiled when a fishy scent rose the moment the lid was removed.
She scrubbed the cutting board thoroughly after filleting to eliminate any lingering, fishy smell.
He noted a fishy quality to the miso paste, so he reduced its quantity in the recipe.
She suggested rinsing the prawns under cold water to remove any fishy residue before cooking.
He detected a faint fishy aroma in the shellfish stock, hinting that it had simmered too long.
She mixed lemon juice into the ceviche to neutralize any fishy hints from the raw fish.
He advised discarding any dried seaweed that smells overly fishy as a sign of age.
She kept fresh fish in a sealed container to prevent fishy odors from permeating the fridge.
He paired pungent cheeses with wine to mask the fishy edge of his seafood risotto.
She called the aroma fishy when the tuna salad had been left out for too long without refrigeration.
He reminded guests that freshness prevents fishy flavors in sushi-grade fish preparation.
She detected a fishy nuance in her homemade vinaigrette after accidentally adding anchovy paste.
He noted that some people describe certain nuts as fishy when they're rancid, indicating they should be discarded.
Food processor, noun. A food processor is an electric kitchen appliance used to chop, slice, shred, puree, or knead ingredients quickly.
She pulsed vegetables in the food processor to create a fine mirepoix in seconds, saving hours of chopping by hand.
He used the dough blade attachment on his food processor to knead bread dough evenly and efficiently.
They pureed roasted peppers into a smooth sauce using the powerful motor of their food processor.
She shredded cabbage for coleslaw in her food processor, achieving uniform strips without manual effort.
He blended soaked nuts into creamy nut butter by running the food processor for several minutes straight.
She sliced potatoes thinly in her food processor to layer perfectly for a gratin dish.
He made quick work of chopping herbs by fitting the small bowl onto his food processor bowl.
She diced tomatoes rapidly by adjusting the slicing disc on her food processor without bruising the fruit.
He used the food processor to grate zucchini for his savory muffins in under a minute.
She transformed stale bread into fine crumbs with the pulse function on her food processor.
He created smooth hummus by processing chickpeas with garlic and tahini in his food processor bowl.
She ground spices into a powder in her food processor when she needed small batches for a recipe.
He crushed ice cubes effortlessly using the food processor to chill his cocktails quickly.
She made banana and berry smoothie by placing fruit and yogurt into the food processor jar.
He chopped nuts coarsely for his granola recipe using the pulse setting on his food processor.
She prepared pie crust dough by combining flour and butter in her food processor until crumbly.
He discovered that a food processor works better than a blender for thick, sticky mixtures.
She always cleaned her food processor attachments thoroughly to prevent flavor cross-contamination.
He stored extra blades for his food processor so he could switch tasks without downtime.
Garlic crusher, noun. A garlic crusher is a small handheld tool used to press garlic cloves through holes to produce finely minced garlic.
She placed a peeled clove into the garlic crusher and squeezed the handles together to release a fragrant paste.
He preferred the stainless steel garlic crusher for its easy cleaning and durable construction.
They pressed multiple cloves quickly using the garlic crusher at the start of the recipe for convenience.
She noted that the garlic crusher leaves behind only dry pulp, making cleanup and reuse simple.
He used a garlic crusher to crush unpeeled cloves, then discarded the skins easily.
She transferred the minced garlic from the garlic crusher to the pan with a small spatula without losing any.
He found that a fresh garlic paste from the garlic crusher imparted more aroma than pre-minced jars.
She recommended tapping the backside of the garlic crusher to dislodge any trapped bits.
He stored his garlic crusher alongside his knives for quick access during meal prep.
She experimented with pushing extra cloves into the garlic crusher for speed when cooking for a crowd.
He chose a model with ergonomic handles that reduced hand fatigue when using the garlic crusher.
She always rinsed her garlic crusher under running water immediately after use to prevent sticking.
He passed the minced garlic from the garlic crusher through a fine sieve to remove any large pieces.
She impressed guests by mincing a head of garlic in under a minute using her favorite garlic crusher.
He stored leftover peeled cloves in the garlic crusher to keep them fresh for the next recipe.
She read that a good garlic crusher can double as a ginger grater in a pinch.
He demonstrated to his friends how quickly a garlic crusher turns raw garlic into a paste for marinades.
She kept her garlic crusher in the dishwasher-safe section of her kitchen for hassle-free cleanup. Ginger, noun. Ginger is a spicy, aromatic root used fresh or dried to flavor sweet and savory dishes and to aid digestion.
She grated fresh ginger into her stir-fry for a sharp, warming kick balanced by soy sauce and garlic.
He steeped slices of ginger in hot water with lemon to soothe his sore throat naturally.
They candied chunks of ginger in sugar syrup to make a chewy, sweet snack that pairs well with tea.
She minced ginger finely to incorporate its piquant flavor evenly into her curry paste.
He made a marinade with ginger, garlic, and honey for tender, caramelized grilled chicken.
She juiced ginger roots and added the liquid to her green smoothies for an antioxidant boost.
He ground dried ginger into his baked goods spice mix to add warmth to muffins and cakes.
She sliced ginger thinly and pickled it as a palate cleanser for her sushi dinner.
He rubbed ginger paste under his nose to clear congestion before flying.
She added ginger to her oatmeal along with cinnamon for a cozy, aromatic breakfast.
He steeped ginger and mint leaves in ice water to create a refreshing summer beverage.
She baked gingerbread cookies using freshly grated ginger for an intense, lingering flavor.
He combined ginger and turmeric in a tonic reputed to reduce inflammation and joint pain.
She chopped ginger into matchsticks to infuse her cocktails with zesty spice.
He used ginger powder and soy sauce to season roasted cauliflower florets for a unique side.
She infused olive oil with ginger and garlic for a fragrant drizzle over roasted salmon.
He added grated ginger to his pancake batter for a subtly spicy breakfast treat.
She entrusted her blender with chunks of ginger and pineapple to craft a tropical smoothie.
He stored fresh ginger, loosely wrapped in paper towels inside the fridge to keep it crisp longer. We hope these vibrant examples help you feel confident using dried fennel, fishy, food processor, garlic crusher, and ginger in your daily conversations and culinary adventures.
Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. Join us next time for more vocabulary insights.
Goodbye and happy learning.